And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, where our number one goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage you in an effort to help you win in any marketplace.
The only thing I'm addicted to right now is winning.
We want you to save our hotline number in your phone, 813-670-7372.
Here's my number, so call me baby.
813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline. Call or text that line with any questions, comments, concerns, anything you hear today on the show that resonates with you. We want to hear from you. We'd love to hear from you. Also, consumerqb.com. Just check out our website, consumerqb.com. A plethora of resources available for you at our website. You can also submit an email directly to us at consumerqb.com. Maybe you're watching our TV show as well on WeBeam TV or streaming live from our website. We've got cameras here in studio, and we're going to help you win in any marketplace, sorting through a lot of the nonsense out there in the mainstream media and making you just a bit more street smart. Intelligent Talk Radio. I've got some intelligent folks here in studio with me today. Jason Brooks, Vice President of Retail Sales for EMortgage Management, Delbro Team. Welcome in, sir.
Absolutely. Good to be here. Beautiful day today. I just got back into town. Glad to be back in Florida.
Awesome, man. Good stuff.
Absolutely.
Little business trip, fun.
I have offices all over the country. So I did a couple of different stints: Philadelphia, New Jersey, Louisiana, and then back to Tampa. So
Nice.
this is home, obviously. So good to be here. I actually missed my kids a lot, so I didn't get to see them last night because we got delayed with the weather. But yeah, this morning was good, and just like I said, just trying to get back in the swing of things. New month, new day, a lot of new things happening. We're going to talk a little bit today about credit, what has changed in the last 30 days on credit profiling and credit reporting.
Okay.
And a little bit on the different loan products that are out there that most people may not know about. So.
Awesome. So you're going to help show the money to the people. Anybody that needs the money, you're the money guy.
That's right.
All right, good stuff. Back in studio, John Grant, EAG-LED Lighting. Welcome in, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for coming back in.
Love being here.
Yeah, man. A lot of fun. What are we going to talk about today?
Let's talk about LED lights. Let's talk about the rebates. Let's talk about some of the stuff that's going away and, pick some brains and show some cash.
I like that.
And light somebody's way. So
That's right.
Lighten the life.
That's right.
Good stuff.
Saving the world one bulb at a time.
Abraham Moussa in the house as well. He's the president of Total Title Solutions. Welcome back in, sir.
glad to be back. Thanks for having me back again.
My pleasure. What's happening at the title space and the real estate closing space?
What I'm seeing lately, access and easement. I think we should talk about that today.
Okay.
How you can actually delay the... Yeah, I guess you know what I'm talking about over there.
Yep.
It's pretty bad out there. You really got to do your job.
Yeah.
Okay. So access and easements?
Yes.
Okay. So ingress, egress from properties, that type of situation?
Yes, there is like just this assumption just because it existed there and it's been there for a long time mean they have access to it, and that's really sometimes is not the case.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Yeah, a lot of times people assume that the property is going to be just because it was sold previous and it's in a subdivision or whatever the situation might be. There's a lot of exceptions to those rules and what people sometimes think. And then you get to the closing table and you have issues.
Come on, man.
And you're like, come on, man.
Yeah, Florida's a survey state, so one of the things that people don't realize when they refinance their home is if there's been any changes in the immediate vicinity around you that touches your property, a lot of the times you're going to be required to get a new survey when you go to do some more financing, as if that's been recorded at the county clerk's office. So there's a lot of people that don't even realize that you need to keep that little survey, that little boundary survey that you get when you buy your house. They're a very important piece of document that you're going to have.
Hang on to that.
I will add to what he has to say on that one is like sometimes just because I've been in that property for a long time personally, and I'm doing a refinance, not even a sale, and I agree with what I had to say, but I still would recommend that you get a survey because I don't know what my neighbors just did. I mean, he just built a new garage. Is it on my property? Is it, or he had a shed or whatever the heck he did? I think you should really spend that $275 and get a survey.
Yeah, we just put a fence in. We fenced in the whole lot, and it's a pretty big lot. So I actually got a survey after the fact just to make sure. I had the original survey crew come back out, draw the lines out, put
Nice.
the fence in, and then had a secondary survey done afterwards.
Save you a lot of time in the long run. You look at some potential issues that are going to come. So that's what the goal of this show is. We want to help you win. We want to help you understand things that you might not think about. Help you think a layer deeper. Help you avoid a lot of these different types of mistakes that happen. And of course, most importantly, helping you avoid commission-based advice, commission breath that's so prevalent in our community. We're going to call that audible right now. Peyton Manning helping us with that audible. Today, I thought we'd talk about one of Stephen Covey's habits. He's talking about proactive. Be proactive. Being proactive means taking responsibility for our attitudes and actions, as well as taking the initiative to make them happen. So I can think about some of these ways that I've seen it happen in life, or even myself personally, is just, whenever you have an idea, never leave the sight of setting a goal or some type of a new action idea without taking an action step toward it, because a lot of times you can just forget about it and you'll lose momentum, and you may not come back to that same mindset for weeks and weeks or maybe ever. So take action. Massive action is going to help you generate more business, more deals, more success, more prosperity in your business. So quick 2-minute tip there from the quarterback here, and being proactive is going to help you with that. And so it's an all-star lineup here. We want to give a shout-out to Hula Bay, one of our restaurant partners, Hula Bay down on beautiful South Tampa. Waterfront ambiance, excellent food, wonderful sushi down at Hula Bay in South Tampa. And say hello to the staff. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and they're going to hook you up with that free water with lemon that we always talk about there on the show. So check them out. Excellent sushi, wide variety on the menu down at Hula Bay. And let's go ahead and jump into it. So we've got, coming up in the show, actually, we've got, for the first time ever, U.S. scientists have corrected genetic code for heart condition. So that's from thegoodnewsnetwork.com, as well as our top 10 list today. We're going to have the top 10 list of the one-hit wonders of all time, the best one-hit wonders of all time. So start thinking about some of those musical rhythms that got stuck in your mind back in the day. All right, so we got Jason Brooks in the house. He's a mortgage expert. He's vice president of retail sales for EMortgage Management, and also the Delbro Team with EMortgage Management. So welcome back in, and yeah, let's look at this environment. What's happening out there? What are you seeing out there?
Yeah, housing market's great. Locally in the Tri-County area, we're in a really good position as far as the seller is concerned. Buyers are having a little bit more trouble trying to find homes. Inventory levels aren't as high as we'd like them to be. Marketing times are low, and a lot of people are getting what they're asking for their homes. So that's a good thing. That's healthy. Year-over-year growth, I think we're 5.5% year-over-year, month-over-month, year-over-year. So that's a good steady pace. I don't foresee that changing much in the near future. But one of the things we want to talk a little bit about today is life has changed a little bit for the self-employed customer. Right. The old school days were, they essentially avoid paying taxes to a certain extent. If you're a corporation, there's a lot of things you get to deduct that W-2 wage earner can't. There's a lot of things that you can offset or distribute versus taking it as income. Well, the downside to that is, in today's mortgage market, there is no such thing as the stated income loan anymore. Right. Stated income loans were put together for self-employed customers, for them to be able to, they look at bank statements, they look at deposits, they look at cash flow and say, look, this guy's got $3 million running through his accounts each year. More than likely, he makes more than $75,000 on paper. Right. So they would take that risk, and they would be able to take that risk at the current rates that a conventional type of mortgage was on. Well, now that's changed. So now the only people doing those types of loans are portfolio investors. Pricing's different. You're not going to see the same rates you see in the paper. However,
can you explain that? What portfolio investments mean?
Yeah, so portfolio, you have three agencies, right? You have Ginnie Mae, which encompasses FHA, VA, USDA. Then you have Fannie Mae, and then you have Freddie Mac. So those are all conventional products. Ginnie Mae is government insured or guaranteed. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are conforming. They conform to those guidelines. Outside of that, you have portfolio, which means that you have a lending institution or a hedge fund or an investment pool that is lending money based on their terms. So they're creating a guideline. They're portfolioing that loan, meaning they're holding the paper or they're delivering it as a mortgage-backed security to an investor down the line that they've already have established. So that being said, they make their own rules in that case. Those are considered, a lot of those are what's called non-QM, which is non-qualified mortgage. They avoid the rules of the qualified mortgage, which is all your agency stuff. So that is just within the last 2 years. You've seen those kind of come back, where I can do a self-employed customer and go off their business bank statements using deposits as their income, or even their personal bank statements if they don't use a business bank account to bank with. So it allows them to still go out and buy a home, decent loans. They're 80-90% loan to value. And actually take advantage of the market today. And then a lot of the people that I work with, I coach. So I look at their tax returns, how they're filing. A lot of the things that you take deductions for, you don't actually spend money to get.
Right.
Therefore, I'm very, very, very well versed with self-employed, very complex tax returns, multiple corporations, rental properties, things like that. So I can kind of say, look, we can take a deductions here and actually still use it as income versus taking it here.
Right.
And avoid some of the pitfalls because it's ever changing. Just last month or the last 2 months, distribution income used to be able to use that as income. Well, now you can't. As a matter of fact, if you claim distribution income and you have a K-1, you can only claim the K-1 amount that you put on your tax returns based on the distribution you took. So you can actually have made more money and only be able to use the lesser amount. So it's kind of the worst of both worlds in that situation. So talk to professionals, somebody that knows what they're doing. Very few mortgage professionals actually know how to look at a tax return and can actually break that out like an underwriter does. It's very important to kind of plan for that, especially if you're self-employed. If you think you just go out and buy a house like everybody else, more than likely you're going to run into some pitfalls.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good summarization of some of the income types and what goes into the backside of an underwriting process when you're looking at a loan. And I think maybe when we come back, let's talk a little bit more. Let's talk about some of the down payment assistance programs.
Sure.
Maybe, if there's bond programs out there. That's a question I get a lot when I'm out in the community. And, of course, we'll maybe talk about our veterans a little bit as well.
Yeah, we love them.
Yeah, so stay with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Brandon Rhymes here, giving a shout out to the Maids Cleaning Service. They do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. 24-hour, 100% satisfaction guaranteed by the Maids Cleaning Service. They are referred for a reason. And when we come back, more from our expert contributors here in studio, Jason Brooks, John Grant, Abe Moussa, and we're going to talk about our, for the first time ever, U.S. scientists have corrected genetic code for heart condition. And more from our expert contributors. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to ConsumerQB.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation, visit Pasco County, Florida.
listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm a top listing agent in Tampa Bay, owner of Platinum MVP Realty, recently featured in Florida Realtor Magazine again for the July issue for the third time, and helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. We would love to talk to you. If you're a seller out there on the fence thinking about selling, reach out to our hotline, 813-670-7372. We can also offer you a free comparable market analysis. Basically the same thing you pay $400 or $500 for an appraisal for. We're going to give it to you for free just by calling or texting 813-670-7372. And you can also submit an email form at consumerqb.com. Just submit the form. It comes directly to myself and our producers, and we're going to make sure we get right back in touch with you and help you with whatever type of concerns you have. We want you to think about this show as the hub of your financial, your business wheel, each spoke extending out, representing another one of our preferred partners, expert contributors in the areas of credit improvement, 5 or 6 different types of attorneys associated with the show, all types of real estate services and all types of ways that we can help you. But you got to reach out. It's on you to reach out. So we're back here in studio. Jason Brooks, he's the Vice President of Retail Sales, EMortgage Management. John Grant, as well, is in the house, EAG-LED Lighting. And Abe Moussa, he's the President of Total Title Solutions, as well as he's the owner of Abe's Place as well. He's got an awesome restaurant over there in Clearwater, family type of restaurant in Clearwater. And we're giving a shout out to Signature Massage and Facial Spa in Tampa. Are you looking for a place to get a massage or a facial at an affordable price, but without having to sign up for a membership? Look no further. At Signature Massage and Facial Spa, they offer a 1-hour Swedish massage for $49.95, always no contracts. And there you'll receive a professional massage at a great price. For all those muscles that need a little extra work, ask about getting a deep tissue or sports massage. And if skincare is what you're looking for, have amazing facial and microderm packages. Check them out at 11248 West Hillsborough Avenue, or call 813-925-8898. 925-8898, and that's Signature Massage and Facial Spa. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Give them the coupon code RELAX, and you're going to get 10% off of your first service with Signature Massage and Facial. All right, so we're talking real estate today. We're talking about financing, and I always like to think about, okay, what's in the mind of the consumer? A lot of folks out there, Jason, they're still renting. They're looking for ways. They think maybe I got to put 20% down. They don't understand there's lower down payment options. And then also there may be some opportunities for down payment assistance programs or bond programs. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so there's multiple different DPAs. As a matter of fact, there's 267 in the state of Florida, if you want an exact number.
Wow.
Now they range anywhere from, like, Florida has the Florida Bond Program, which is statewide. It's a $15,000 grant. You have to remain in the home for at least 5 years. You can't refinance the property without paying a portion of that back, depending on how long you've been in it. It does limit you as to what you can do, and the pricing is fixed. It's a government-insured loan or a conventional loan, and the pricing is predetermined. So that, there's no range of rates like you would typically see on a typical loan, and the rates tend to be a little bit higher on those for reasons of risk. Now, that being said, there's income limitations to those. So you have to be within a certain income bracket. You have to be a first-time home buyer, which means you can't have owned a home within the last 3 years. You can be married or not, doesn't matter. It can be an individual. So what people typically run into in our area directly is the income limitation or the loan amount restriction. So you're only going to be in a certain buying bucket. That being said, there is still plenty of opportunity out there. There's a 1% down product that Freddie Mac offers. There's also there's USDA, which is 100% financing, and then there's obviously VA, which is 100% financing as well. So there's multiple different opportunities for that, and typically, most people, even when they're looking at the bond product, if you compare one to the other, it's really there for people who need it. Not necessarily for people who want it. If you have down payment funds, it's actually a little bit more accessible to get into a loan. The down payment assistance programs do require you to take a class. You have to go through a certain set of qualifications to keep that. But they are available. We are actually licensed to do the bond product within the state of Florida, actually in multiple different states. But then there's also local DPAs, which is kind of a counties do them. It's
municipalities.
Lesser, it's lesser money, different qualifications. There's specific things tailored towards doctors, right? We do a doctor loan that's 100% financing. We do things for teachers, first responders, things like that. So then we also internally offer additional incentives for military veterans, active duty or retired, police officers, law enforcement, first responders, EMS,
I like that.
things like that as well. So, and we partner with other teams that actually give additional benefits from everything from home inspections to appraisals to title to down the line.
Yeah,
so
I like that. So with the veterans too, we at Platinum MVP Realty will rebate a quarter to a half a point back to the veterans what they buy or sell with us, and also a note on those down payment assistance programs. I did a deal for a friend of mine some years back, but it was really cool because we were able to pair two of those different programs. So we had $25,000 from one source, another $20,000. So it was like $45,000 of down payment money that they didn't have to come out of pocket with. So those programs are out there. So if you're thinking about buying, if you're maybe renting right now and you're saying, oh, I don't know if I can do it, just reach out to us. We would love to help you. A lot of times you can, again, back to our opening line was being proactive, right? Just reach out, 813-670-7372. Call us or text 813-670-7372. And more from Jason Brooks coming up as well in our lightning round, and we're going to hear more from Jason. Let's talk with John Grant now, EAG-LED Lighting, and John Grant can help business owners. He can help homeowners even, when you look at replacing some of this old, outdated lighting with some of the newer technologies.
Yeah, that's really right now what we're primarily focused on is, as you know, is the business community. We're seeing a lot of the property management groups, even if you own a property, or you own 100 properties. You're paying the common area costs, the lighting for the signage, the lighting for the parking lot, etc., hallways, exits, stairwells, stuff that has to be on 24 hours a day. So we're seeing a big move in that a lot of these property management, guys and groups are starting to see that, you can cut the energy by 70-80% on your lighting side, eliminate the maintenance, replacement costs, all the things that go into that, and you still have rebates available. So like even in this local marketplace, you've got Tico, they still have rebates and whatnot available. And then, in other parts of the country, all throughout the U.S., there's tremendous amount of rebates and incentives. And with, close to 350 reps now nationwide, and throughout Canada, we can get in pretty much any marketplace that's out there, walk through a facility, find out exactly what the rebates are that are available to them, qualify for the rebates, do all the paperwork, obviously install specifically lights for them that are geared for what they need. So we're not forcing you into a certain wattage or Kelvin or beam spread or even a type of application or fixture. We're actually customizing based on what you got. So what we know from thousands of facilities that we've done throughout the world is that understanding what the operation is, physically having boots on the ground and seeing it really is the key. Because even when you're dealing with a facility manager, and I don't care if it's a Fortune 100 company or a U.S. embassy, it's always the same thing. They have really no clue what the type of fixture is. They just know that somewhere along the way, somebody architecturally engineered or designed that fixture or that lighting plan, and they've just been replacing bulbs and ballasts. So a lot of people don't even understand how it works.
Yeah.
So that's really the key for us. There's a lot of people out there, that they're trying to make a buck. They're electricians or they're contractors or whatever, and they're good at what they do. And they see the lighting industry or the LED progression as an opportunity for them to sell their product, right? Which is traditionally labor. And so there's a lot of folks that are out there representing and putting lights out there, and people are so confused because they don't know what to go after or what to get. They don't understand that there's first, second, and third generation that have all come out within, 3-4 years of each other that have anywhere from a, if we're calling first generation 0 and we're calling third generation 4,000, that's the percentage of difference, in the wattage efficiency and illumination effect. And, even some of the raw materials and the progression of eliminating a yellowing effect or some of the blackout effects that have happened with, some of the first and second generation stuff, heat sink, Heat to an LED is like kryptonite to Superman.
Let's talk more about on the flip side. I want to talk about the heat offput and that differentiation, as well as the color. You mentioned the yellowing and some of the different color, because that's some of the stuff that I didn't realize when we first met. We talked about that. So more from John Grant coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Also, Abraham Moussa, president of Total Title Solutions, in the house. Jason Brooks as well. He's a mortgage expert here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And giving a shout out to Healthy Gourmet, Felicia Lacalle with Healthy Gourmet. Meal plan starting at $90 a week. Optimal fuel, optimal performance. Healthy Gourmet, all organic veggies, natural proteins, delivered fresh 3 times a week. And what else do you have in this world if you don't have your health? We want you reaching out to Felicia Lacalle, Healthy Gourmet, meal plan starting at $90. And Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you get your delivery to your home or office. And it's ease of use, and it's great food, and it's very healthy. Stay with us. More from our expert contributors. And for the first time ever, U.S. scientists have corrected genetic code for heart condition. And we're going to talk about the top 10 one-hit wonders of all times. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Forbes Riley, celebrity TV fitness host and creator of The Spin Gym. I'm here today with Brandon Rhymes, and you're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Great ways to get happy, healthy, and wealthy.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. Listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Quarterback Show. Platinum MVP Realty, former USF football player, and published author, professional speaker. Check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. Some really cool stuff going on with our next step in that process. We're actually looking to, we're going to be licensing this product nationwide, working with some really cool folks. We're putting together final deals. I'll release more details on that later. Check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves. And coming up in the show for the first time ever, U.S. scientists scientists have corrected genetic code for heart condition. And also our expert contributors are going to guess. We're going to pit our expert contributors against each other here. They're going to guess the top 10 one-hit wonders of all time, see who can come up with the most on that list. And in studio today, we got Jason Brooks. He's the Vice President of Retail Sales for eMortgage Management. John Grant, EAG-LED LED Lighting. He's a lighting expert in the world of LEDs, as well as Abraham Moussa. He's the President of Total Title Solutions. And before the break, we were kind of talking about, we wanted to jump into some of the heat offset, the color of these different types of LED products. So, the color is something that you don't understand a lot of times, at least a layperson doesn't, but there's so much more to lighting than meets the eye.
Oh my God. Like, think about it. For years, whenever you needed a new bulb, it was just you went in and needed 100 watt.
Yeah.
You didn't think about lumens. You didn't think about color, CCT, Kelvin, which is what that is. So, there are so many different forms of colors. I mean, for us in a commercial application, it's insane because you're dealing with everything from environmental stuff, like say down on Clearwater Beach or in other parts of the Southeast where the sea turtles are a big deal. It's got to be this amber red color, right? So you can't dial that color in with traditional lights. They have to put a cover over a light that's red or amber. So we can dial those lights in. We can dial in lights for, to protect mosquitoes. We can dial in lights for people in their kitchen and their bathrooms, like the more 5,000 Kelvin, which is more what's considered natural light. So like if your, significant other wants to get ready and put on makeup in the bathroom, that 5,000 Kelvin's a world of difference because it's true like the sun, so they get the actual light and what it really looks like in the light. And then there's no heat, which, is the second part of what you said, or the first part. There's no heat with LED. Now, granted, the drivers, drive and produce a little heat like any electrical component, but, the lights themselves produce no heat. You can dial in any color that you want. Obviously that is beneficial for folks that are designing things or in manufacturing facilities, or where they really need to see things. It needs to be crisp, needs to be clear, precise, so you're giving them just a tremendous quality in lighting, as far as vision goes and elimination of headaches and strain,
right?
And all the things that you don't even, people don't even think about it. They don't think about the heat and elimination of AC costs or, the work environment and sweating at your desk or, in a restaurant. We were just talking about restaurants, there's so many, values, to it. It's definitely where everybody's going. It's just interesting how it keeps evolving, like over the last 5-8 years. And then now where it's the technology, it's not just the LED, it's the technology. So like we have a street light, and we've talked about this before, where you can dial it down 70 to 90% of the original wattage and then have the motion sensor kick in and pick up anything within a football field's length.
Nice.
And go to 100%. Well, then 5, 10, however many, you can, again, adjust it to how long after that leaves. Then it goes back to your 10 or 30%. So think about these numbers.
Adjustable.
You're taking like, for example, a municipality or, they've got 20, 30,000 lights in the Department of Transportation in a state or an area. You're taking all those lights from, say, 400 watt metal halides with a ballast 458 wattage. You're bringing it down to say 90 watts. So we'll just call that 75% to make it easy reduction. So you're reducing their power by 75%. Now you're going to take the 90 watt light and you're going to reduce it, say 70% to a 30 watt light, right? Or 27 or whatever it works out to be. So a 30 watt light most of the time, because how many cars are going in like the middle of nowhere where all these lights are on, and there's just one after another after another after another.
Yep.
So it's when they see that, they might have been somebody that we changed out lights 4 or 5 years ago with maybe a 200 or 250 watt LED. So now the efficiency's better. But now when they see that advantage from a advancement of technology standpoint, they can't wait to get on board with that. So it's not just going to be that the technology exists. It's going to be the constantly evolution of it. And it's like, would you have thought in 1993 that every year or two, you'd go in and spend $700 for a new phone.
Right. Yeah. No, that iPhone, they got you.
That's a joke, right? But you can't wait.
Yours for 700. Where'd you get that?
People camp out.
Let me ask you. Let me go back to something. John Grant here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. EAG-LED lighting. We're talking about earlier. You said something about mosquitoes. So we have these awesome top 10 lists that we do. Anthony's doing a great job teeing these up for us. So I feel like I'm learning a lot of the what do they call it, like Jeopardy knowledge. You know, I got a lot of
Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah, I feel like I'll be good at that next time
Jeopardy.
I play my daughter.
This
maybe.
is Anthony we're talking about.
So one of the most dangerous animals was the top 10 dangerous animals. Number 1 was mosquitoes.
Of course.
So talk to us about these LED lighting and how does that affect? So you're saying there's this something you can put around.
What are mosquitoes attracted to?
Light.
Heat. It's not light.
Ah, okay.
It's heat.
Okay.
See, that's what everybody.
You still need some more Jeopardy.
Let me
buzz myself.
Think about it. If they were attracted to light, they'd all be gone. They'd be going to the sun.
So the zappers, though, those little old school zappers.
It's heat. It's
okay.
that's heat that they pick up as the infrared. You know, right? Like mosquitoes have infrared, so they pick up the heat, and that's why you see them like swarming around lights. And so even the traditional LEDs outside your business facility, floodlights, parking lot, and all, gone. All those all that bug stuff around your lights, that's gone. Bugs up inside your fluorescent fixtures, like sometimes you see trapped up underneath the, the plastic, like we're looking at right here, gone. Because all that heat is gone. And so then also, science says certain colors, like color lights, actually repel insects. So one of those colors is this crazy yellow amber type deal. And so we get KOAs. We get these KOA facilities throughout the U.S. and Canada that they'll order, 5,000-10,000 lights at a time. They've got 15 KOAs in the region or whatever. And that's what they're doing. They're just screwing these bulbs in.
Campgrounds of America.
So you can tell that you actually camp. So that's good.
So,
babe.
All right. So John Grant, more from John Grant coming up as well. We got our top 10 coming up as well. And Abe Moussa, president of
the
Total
Outdoorsman
Title Solution. The Outdoorsman, yeah. Serial entrepreneur, owner of Abe's Place, got a restaurant as well. And we're talking title now. We're talking title solutions, Total Title Solutions in Clearwater. So you had mentioned in the opening that you're seeing some different challenges.
There has been. But just to piggyback on what John was saying, I really did convert my restaurant to LEDs, and it actually works pretty good.
Nice.
It does, and you don't have to change the lights as often. But I didn't know that much in it. I just called somebody, and I just did it. But anyway, yes, the market has changed, and since there is, as Jason was saying earlier, it is a seller's market. So there is this rush to buy these properties, or you have competing offers and so on. So a lot of time they're not doing their job as well as they should, or hire the right professional to help them with that transactions. And what I've seen lately is that they forgo certain things that they should do, be as it may in a commercial environment, and especially in a commercial environment, because we kind of feel insulated to many of the things that the residential market would do. So I've seen 2 incidents. One of them is a commercial condo. To the gentleman bought the last of the commercial condos at the end of the campus, let's say, and the assumption was that it was a commercial condo, so everything is accessible, and all the driveways and the parking lots and all that stuff is cross easement basically. Well, to the contrary, it's not. It was not cross easement. It was not done right. And yes, it took years of court battle to get back that access easement, because one of the other neighbors had bought the middle property and fenced it. Wow. Literally fenced it around it. So there's no cross easement of parking lot now. There's no easement to go to the back. So you went from a decent property to a almost useless property.
Wow.
So years later, battles, court tried to prove that it was from the same property. Yes, eventually you may and will win your case. But really, you should have not have spent all that money. And there was no insurance for this.
Wow.
None. title insurance was not going to cover that. You didn't order a survey, you didn't do your work, and no, it was not going to cover it. So back to what Jason was saying, please order that survey and do a bit more work than this, and don't assume you're going to need access because it's always been there.
Yeah, assumptions will get you in trouble. What's the old saying? If you make assumptions, you make an ass out of you and me. So there's assumptions that you have a survey, assuming that you have the easements in place. Those are things that we're going to warn you about here as well. And when we come back, we're going to talk more about these types of issues that you're seeing, and also a lot of fraud is still out there with when it comes to the wires and different things of that nature. So we're the kind of the watchdog here for you, helping you win, helping you understand more of those situations. So when we come back, more from our expert contributors. We're going to jump into our top 10 one-hit wonders of all times, and also for the first time ever, U.S. scientists have corrected genetic code for heart condition. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at ConsumerQB.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. Giving a shout out to Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach. It's a whitewashed Mediterranean palace and our official hotel partner. Give them a call. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you, and you're going to get a discount off your room stay. Nice, beautiful place for a staycation. 10 to 20% discount just by mentioning the Consumer Quarterback Show code. And Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora on St. Pete Beach, the first new hotel built in decades on the beach. And it's a whitewashed Mediterranean palace. You got rooftop yoga on the weekends. You've got a beautiful pool and spa area. The Castile restaurant as well is great food. You can go have breakfast, lunch, or dinner on site at Kipton's, the Hotel Zamora on beautiful St. Pete Beach. And we're back here in studio hoping you win in any marketplace. Jason Brooks in the house. John Grant, EAG-LED Lighting. And currently we're talking with Abe Moussa. He's the president of Total Title Solutions. So, Abe, we talked about the surveys. Now, you're also seeing some different types of fraud out there. What would you say to our listeners out there?
The fraud is really rampant, and I believe Jason can support me on this one. A lot of people, so seller wants to sell, buyer wants to buy. There's a competition out there, so they want to close that transaction under no circumstances. So what we're seeing is, and of course, I like your earlier listener, we're talking about the AOL accounts, the accounts that does not have company names. I love that guy. I don't even know who he is, but I think he was given the right advice. Is that So the buyers are getting different kind of instruction from somebody else, basically. So the phishing emails, they're waiting for somebody's email, so they send the wrong, they send different instruction to the buyer, and the buyer is so excited he wants to buy that property, he's sending that money.
Yeah.
Sending it without our knowledge as a title company. They're supposed to call us. There is all kind of stuff in there. and they send it and they're losing that money. It's gone. Okay. So what we're asking them to do is just help us protect their money. There is a way we send our, and here's the irony of this. We send our wire instructions securely. Then they call back and upset because they can't open the secure email. They just didn't want to bother to actually just read the instruction to open the
So you just
secure
got to
email.
stop and say, all right, listen, just bring cash. Bring cash in, and then we'll let you know how much we actually need.
You know, John, we've had that incident, and I'm not kidding when I tell you somebody walked in a duffel bag and he was an Eastern European, did not understand why I could not take his $100,000 in cash.
Take it to the bank and wire it.
Yeah, he did not really comprehend that concept. It's for real. So there's a lot of misconception in the marketplace, and this is why I always believe like you really should hire somebody to help you.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the latest fraud that we're seeing. But the other fraud, and this is for smart people out there, some shiesty people are getting one over you to where on the foreclosure sales. This happened twice now in the last couple of weeks. To where the foreclosure sale is on a second mortgage, okay, and there is some appearance to be the first mortgage, and people are losing their money, and we're not losing $10,000, $15,000. It's not $450,000. That's what they're losing.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know what's sad about this? It's not even a fraud.
Right.
It was legal.
It's actually
Didn't do
legal.
your homework.
Yeah,
Right.
it was legal.
Yes, maybe immoral.
Take out the first, they just took out the second.
It was
Somebody thought
it's actually pretty good.
Twisted story the way did you
The way they did it is simple. They bought the HOA lien basically from the HOA. So now they have a lien on that. They own the title subject. They own the property subject to the first mortgage, right?
Right.
And then this person, clever as hell, I gotta tell you, he put a he put a mortgage on the second mortgage on the same property, but for his own company, right? So he over-mortgaged the heck out of it, and then his mortgage company foreclosed on the property, right? He did not contest it. It goes to foreclosure sale, so everybody thinks why not? And he made it so close to the regular bank, basically the name, Doce, whatever.
Yeah.
So they made it very close, and then in a way, people they did not see the misunderstanding of what's going on.
Yeah.
They bid on it, assuming again that it's the first, right?
Yep.
And it wasn't, and they lost that money. There's being charged in court,
Now they own now they have a second on the property.
and now Wells Fargo's foreclosing.
Right.
They've got nothing.
Now the
Really crazy
first lien
story.
holder's going to take a
And
position.
one second on this one, please, because I saw also the Times says in the newspaper that, well, a regular search would not have caught that. And I think they were, I don't think that's the right information. I think anyone with half a brain could have caught it in a search.
Yeah,
It's a
Total
fact
Title
that you didn't
Solutions
do.
would have caught it.
Yes, or anyone else
They
in that
wanted to
matter.
see what they wanted to see. They wanted to see that it was a great deal.
John is 100% right. They just wanted it. It's on the water. It's gorgeous. I want it, and that's he's
Always
exactly right.
over here.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into our top 10 here, okay? So we got an interesting top 10 for you. Let's see. Let's think back now. You got to think 80s. You got to think, 2000s.
Better than the last top 10 I was in here. It was the movies you watch on like Memorial Day weekend. Like who's sitting at home watching movies on Memorial Day weekend? Where do you live? Alaska?
Anthony said just because you stunk at guessing doesn't mean they were bad.
I think I was nailing it. Whatever.
Take me out of that. Take that one out of that one. All right, top 10 one-hit wonders of all time. So definition, one-hit wonder means it's an artist that put out a song, and it was a one hit. They did a great job on the one hit. That was probably their
You're going to
only...
start with a foreigner, aren't you?
That was probably their only... What is that? Was that a guess?
I heard.
No, I said you're going to start with a foreigner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I heard racist.
All right,
Terrible.
So, Jason?
Milli Vanilli.
Milli
Blame it on the
Vanilli.
rain.
Don't you
should
have to
be
play the
on
song,
this.
or they're not a one-hit wonder? They had a couple of them.
That one? That one?
I'm blaming on the rain.
Blame it on the rain.
Blame It
Yeah.
on the Rain was in there.
Oh, so
but
they were a two-hit wonder.
they're not on it. Sorry.
No, as an X, okay.
Those shoes are made for walking.
Shoes are made
Those
for walking.
shoes are made for walking.
I don't see that one on here.
Come on.
I think it's
It's probably
boots.
going to be
I
like
think it's
stuff
boots are
like
made for walking.
Boots are made.
like how about like like Macarena or Electric
Boom,
Slide or
Macarena is on the list.
Seriously?
Number one, Los
Number
Del Rio,
one.
1993. Hey,
is the Macarena?
Number
Really?
one, Macarena.
I bet you, like, think of other sports songs like "Who Let the Dogs Out."
Hey, come on, you can't
I never
guess
heard
them
of
all
that.
at once. You can't be guessing ahead.
Did
that was
you
number
get
6.
the questions ahead of time?
No,
Because
he just took number
They get
6.
emailed to me.
All
in
right, so
advance.
Anthony.
do you have any
He's
guesses
like
here?
Hillary Clinton.
I
She
really
got the
don't.
answers
That
in
was
advance.
it.
Okay, one-hit wonders of all time. So like popular songs that were out
So
there.
was "Who Let the Dogs Out" on there?
Number 6.
So
on
how
the
many
list.
we got so far?
You got number
You have
1 and
2,
number 6.
and we have 0. So
I got 1 and 6. Okay, I'll let you guys
chance.
guess again, and then I'll guess another
Jason.
one.
Vanilla Ice.
Ice
Oh,
Baby.
that's one for sure.
Ice Baby. Number 7 on the list.
Da-na-na-na-na-na.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Can somebody give me a hint?
Let's see.
Oh, no.
How do we
Like,
give hints
Or
on
can I
these?
call a lifeline or something?
Oh my
Call a
God.
friend.
Wrong
Phone a
show.
friend.
Yeah, this
Ask,
isn't-
ask Brian. See if Brian has any guesses. No? Okay. All right. So, John?
one-hit wonders. Was Electric Slide on there?
Electric Side? I don't see it. All right, I'll help you guys out here. So, number 10 was Nina, 99 Luft Balloons.
99 red balloons.
How about Gerardo Rico Suave?
Oh, there you
How
go.
about "I'm Too Sexy for My"? Remember that song? I'm
Number 4.
Too sexy for
Number
my
4.
shirt.
There you go.
Too sexy. Well, you got to think like that, babe.
What was that song that came out just a couple of years ago? The guy that did the crazy dance.
Oh yeah.
Vietnamese guy.
What was that
What's his
guy?
name?
Psy.
Korean guy.
Like
Yeah.
Gunga style or
There
something.
you go.
Gangnam
Gangnam
Style.
Style.
Not on there?
Is that
That
on
was
there?
a good one. I don't see it on here.
That's too new.
Tony Bazile, Mickey Thief on the Loose. Right Said Fred, I'm Too Sexy.
Yep.
Number 3 is Dexy's Midnight Runners, The Emerald Express. Come on, Eileen. Number 2, Soft Cell, Tainted Love.
Anthony.
Where did our
That's
love
one
go?
hit
This
wonder. I love that song. Damn.
And number 1 was the Macarena.
Yeah, nice job.
Thank
All
you.
right,
Right out of the
there's
gate.
your top 10 one-hit wonders of all
Thank
time.
you, John, for
And,
making us look bad.
We just have about 2 minutes left for our lightning round. The lightning round! So we're going to make it a real abbreviated, quick nuggets of advice, parting words of advice. Jason Brooks.
All right, so I'm just going to give a quick rundown. So we are a little different in the sense that we have no lender fees, and on top of that, we do a lot of stuff with first-time buyers. We truly have 0 fees. We're not baking them into price. There's no junk fees at all. Secondly is partnering with us on a purchase with a veteran. We do a lot of things for them. It literally saves them thousands of dollars over traditional financing. So we'd love to talk to them.
No lender fees. Talk to the veterans. Veterans are going to get special opportunities with EMortgage Management Delbro Team. All right, John Grant, parting words of advice.
Do we have any time after all that?
Come on.
That was 30
Come seconds. On, You got come
2 minutes. What do you need?
Just give us the call if you need LED lights. We got you
LED
anywhere in the
lighting,
country.
gonna help you
go
save money.
EAG-LED.com. Check us out.
Yep. And Abe Moussa.
Hire somebody, call somebody, do your homework before you buy that next property on the foreclosure step.
Get that survey done. Don't assume. Don't make assumptions that it's going to be there. Double check the wire instructions whenever you do have time. Call on the other end. Find out the wiring instructions. So I want to thank all of our expert contributors. Jason Brooks, President of Retail Sales, Vice President of Retail Sales. John Grant, EAG-LED LED Lighting. And Abraham Moussa, President of Total Title Solutions. Also has an awesome restaurant in Clearwater. Go say hello to him. What street is that on again?
Missouri Avenue.
Oh, say again?
1250
what's the
South
name of it?
Missouri Avenue.
Missouri Avenue, Abe's Place in Clearwater.
Before.
All right, so
Where
we
have
want
you
you to
been?
please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Something as simple as packing up leftover food you may have, handing it to that person in need, and be a force for good in the community. Donate some leftover clothing you may have to local churches and food banks, and buy a police officer or serviceman or woman lunch or dinner, breakfast, lunch or dinner. Be a
They
force
always
for
get
good.
half off at my place.
There
You can
go.
always buy
Abe's
me
Place.
dinner.
There you go. ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.